My name is Amadeus Faltajna. I'm here in Serbia for a bit more than a year, working in the Austrian Embassy as director of the Austrian Culture Forum, which is an integral part of the embassy. We are organizing cultural and scientific events throughout Serbia, more than 100 events per year, and I may invite you to look at our homepage, to look at our newsletter, to subscribe to our channels on social media, Austrijski, Kulturni Forum, Beograd, and keep informed about all the events that we are organizing. We are present in, for example, upcoming Art and Science Festival, which will be in the Botanical Garden here in Belgrade, and also Jazz Festival Belgrade with Austrian band. So if any one of you is interested to see Austrian artists, cultural acts here in Belgrade, please come to our events.
And back to education.
Back to education, we are cooperating with ÖAD, which is the Austrian Education Service for students abroad who are interested in studying in Austria. We have so-called lectors in Belgrade and in Novi Sad at the faculties of German studies, and they are here to facilitate the exchange between Austria and Serbia. We have
for Serbian students.
Sorry?
And you have the program for Serbian students.
We have a huge number of programs. First of all, I want to give you some numbers. In Austria, international students constitute 21% of the total number of students, so more than 1 in 5 students is not from Austria. We have quite low fees. And at the same time, public universities in Austria provide a high level of educational value. So Austrian universities usually are ranking among the top lists of the different higher education rankings. So you get basically for a relatively low price, which is even lower than in Serbia, as I have been told, if you compare public universities, you get an extremely good quality of education in one of the cities which is among the most livable, or even the most livable in the world. Vienna and Graz, both cities, the 2 biggest cities, are regularly ranking among the number 1 or top 10 most livable cities. As regards to the concrete programs, there is no bilateral agreement between Austria and Serbia, so it is up to the universities, the individual universities, to regulate admission, but also to, let's say, to set the conditions for grants. There are 72 higher education institutions with more than 2,000 degree programs in Austria. So it would be difficult now to give a general guidance. What are the requirements? My advice is to check out the homepage grants.at, where you can find a comprehensive list of grants available to students, potential students, applicants from Serbia. And I can say in general that Serbia, as well as the other countries in the Western Balkans, which are not yet part of the European Union, have a bigger number of scholarships available than regular third countries. Let's put it like this.
And you mentioned that the fees for education institutions are lower than in Serbia, which is, it is a case. But the living costs are a bit higher than in Serbia.
If I look at Belgrade,
that's debatable.
And look at the rents here, there is not much difference between Vienna and Belgrade.
Especially in the last 2 years.
It has approached the same level. Also, restaurants are not there is not a big difference anymore.
Is there any kind of scholarship that you provide for the students?
Yes, there's some scholarship. It depends. Some scholarships cover the costs of tuition, and some scholarships also cover the costs of housing.
And does it apply to all levels of education, meaning bachelor, master, doctoral studies?
Yes, and there is the public administration of student homes, dormitories, which is called STUWO, STUWO. And on their webpage, you can also find requirements. I myself lived in such a STUWO residence when I studied law in Vienna, and it's really, they have very nice apartments. The thing is, you have to be quick and apply way in advance before you come, because usually there are way more applications and the deadlines are very early. So I would advise anyone who is interested in applying for such a public option for housing to look at stuwo.at as soon as possible before they arrive.
And what are the deadlines when it comes to university? Could you tell us more about that? When it comes to scholarships, but also for applying to universities?
Applying to universities, I don't have exact deadlines now. It's for the winter semester, it is usually 13th of June, but don't take my word for law now. And for the students' residences, it's even some months before. So if somebody comes for the winter semester or fall semester to Austria, they should know that already in February and check grants.at and stuwo.at.
So
those two.
Yeah, we could say that 1 year is maybe appropriate time for preparation.
1 year is ideal.
Yeah, to think
8 months is a good time. I mean, you can also do it very short term, but not later than the end of June, because if the deadline for inscription has expired, then there is no way of getting into the university anymore. We have a very much focused on, our system in Austria is very much focused on public universities. I think that is something we have in common with Serbia. Public universities have a very high, good reputation, and they are cheaper than the private ones. So I can highly recommend checking out the public ones. Our access is pretty liberal, so we have a high number of students. For example, in Vienna, we have almost 100,000 enrolled students. But this also comes with a very challenging first semester or first year of studies, because we have some knockout exams in the first year. So basically, admission is rather easy to get, but then if you don't perform, you might be, you might drop out. The dropout rate is high.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to mention when it comes to the programs or the system?
Erasmus Plus, I would like to mention, because Serbia has access to it.
We already talked about it in the previous sessions.
And that it's not only focused on higher education, because now we have been talking mainly about universities, but also about apprenticeships. So this is something very specific to Austria and also Germany, that before or after I think it's called Osnovna Škola. After this, in Austria you can do an apprenticeship, which is qualifying young people for especially technical work, which is highly researched and also well paid on the labor market, and it doesn't even require the matura. So this is the dual education system, which Austria is very proud of and which is a role model for other countries.
Yes, Serbia
is trying to also do that, because it's more adapted to the labor market. Like putting it a bit satirically, we don't need the 1 millionth philosopher, but we do need the technician who fixes something concrete. So we should also look at labor market more. And also universities are trying with their degree programs to be more adapted to the labor market. We have universities of applied science. In German, they are called Fachhochschule, and they offer very specialized degree programs which are more in line with what the labor market also needs. So I would highly advise to look at all the different degree programs, not only the classical ones, and even like especially the technical programs, the MINT programs, mathematics, informatics, technical science, natural science, have a very good starting salary and a 100% employment rate directly after university graduation. Austrian labor market is very good, and generally graduates from technical and natural science degree programs find they can even select between different potential employers.
We know that well in Serbia, that the market in Austria is good. Thank you very much for all those information.